know she made me rock and roll again. Put the swagger in my soul again. Push me back across the line again. And put the writing on the wall.
Man, it's hard to believe we're heading into season 8 of Red Arrow. It's been a lot of fun along the way.
Well, it's that time of year again. I don't think I've ever been this excited to go deer hunting. Just the stress of this summer and just getting the show done and all the office stuff is over with. Me and Josh are getting back out in the woods where we like to be.
We're heading out to Montana, 36-hour drive in the old Ram, but you know, we enjoy every minute of it, man, seeing God's creation and getting to see a lot of diverse, different places in the country.
What we figured we'd do, go up here while the elk hunting's still good, kill us an elk, hopefully, and hopefully shoot a nice whitetail buck on the river bottom there. So y'all stay tuned and see what happens.
And this week especially, we're pulling the 8-act trailer, which is not exactly roughing it, but we are gonna be camping out. We're gonna be surviving on our own. We brought our own supplies and stuff. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna be away from internet and computers and all that garbage that bogs us down every day. And we're just really looking forward to it, man. Montana is a getaway for sure. I know it's our job, but it just feels like paradise, man.
We're gonna see if we can't put a beaming shaft up in one, or 2 or 3.
Well, I'm mean as gravel, I'm poor as dirt. And I like things better the way they were. Well, I'm strong in the head, but I get things done. I spend too much money to have a little fun. Come on. I ain't changing, I'm a stubborn man. So can you love me like I am? Can you love me, baby, like I am? Yeah.
You know, Montana, it feels like almost a second home to me, really. Just over the years, I got so many good memories.
I tell you this, baby.
Catching you up to speed to this point might require a montage.
You can't go wrong, even if you didn't shoot a deer. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous here. Look.
Just running with the wild.
It's an awesome deer, man. He is just a beast.
Son, it don't get no better than this out here in Montana in a snowstorm. Boom, crash, and burn. Yes, sir, buddy.
So now that y'all are caught up to speed, let's bring you to the present. Me and Cody and Jordan have been friends for a couple years now, and they said, hey, look, man, I know you got this deer hunt planned with us. We're gonna try to get up in the mountains for a couple days at least and chase these big old elk around. And my buddy Austin Jessup has the beeline on maybe some public ground we can get on. So I was kind of excited. I mean, I figured if nothing else, we would give it 2 or 3 days and see if we couldn't slam a great big old 6x6 or
How big does it have to be for me? I think the term in the book is legal.
According to my standards, just any bull that had horns on its head at all that was legal. I think we passed a couple guys fighting some Indians in a covered wagon as long as we went back here on this gravel road. And then we drove a Ranger even further into the mountains, and then we hiked even further to get to the elk. And you know, to get out there in 3 days, find the bulls, get on one, call it in on public land, you know, sometimes kind of jockeying and fighting other hunters a little bit. You know, that's a lofty, lofty goal. That's kind of like saying, hey, I'm gonna go on a speed dating course over the weekend and I'm gonna find my wife. Chances are you're gonna find a crazy one that's gonna burn your apartment down. However, there is that chance of the great white buffalo. She's out there. She could just happen to show up at the same place. Kind of like we could be in the same vicinity as a major bull elk that wants to play cards with us a little bit he come into the calls. You never know.
I'm afraid he's gonna come down the trail I'm standing on. We got one down below us, Josh. I don't know what it is, though.
So we found ourselves completely surrounded by elk. And there was a couple minutes there we didn't really know which way to face or set up because they were coming kind of on all sides.
All right, big bull coming. I don't know if he'll ever make it up to the trail I can shoot him on, but he's coming. There he is. There's one bull. One bull just crossed at 70 yards. But there's another one behind me. I think there's one right in front of me.
There's a big falling blowdown and they all walk behind it. I can see legs and I can see necks and heads, but no vitals whatsoever. And when they got around behind us, I had no shot up through that thicket.
I got no shot. He's 40 yards, but I got no shot through that stuff. A cow, I think, saw us. She walked up in our lap at 12 yards. Dude, we had two cows, less than 20. We had one bull down in the bottom that was like 40 at the most. Couldn't get him shot. That lead bull that you guys saw walked right by us at 25 yards. That's like, what's fun about hunting is that. And the most frustrating thing about it is that because I feel like I'm pretty comfortable at the 60 or 70 yards. And we had elk at 25 yards, 6x6 at 25 yards, but a tree about that big, laying flat, covering his vitals. I saw neck and feet. I could have shot him in the ear hole, but I might get hate mail for that.
It's kind of like winning a silver medal in the Olympics. It's like you almost won and you are the closest loser.
The Hoyt bow will do a lot of things, but shooting through pine trees and into an elk is not one I would recommend. But what can you do? We got to keep on. It's fixing to get dark. We got to go down to the camp, set up, and get a fire going, and cry about what happened today, I guess.
Well, today I was thinking about you and all of the pain.
All right, it's day 2. We're about to enter the no ATV zone right here. We gotta leave the Rangers up here. I'm sick as a dog, man. I had some kind of chest respiratory infection or something. This is not good when you're hiking in the mountains, but
Well, on day 2 of the elk hunt, you know, we hiked up to some of the same area, just weren't seeing the elk. Something happened. I mean, there's other hunters in the area. We saw their four-wheelers and trucks and stuff, so that does add another spin on things as far as public land hunting, and it can be tough.
well, the update is we've been doing a lot of armed hiking today. Couldn't get on one this morning. Camped out on the water hole, took a little nap. Now we got the bull that I almost had a shot at. It's in this timber right here. So we're gonna go try to kill him if we can. Bet you that bull ran those cows and that 2 spikes out of there. They ran down in where our elk we were stalking were.
As you know, the wind can turn on a dime. Bull ended up spooking. The next day, we got up, and it was just total thunderstorms blowing in. It was looking bad. And I'm thinking the more we drag this thing out, the less I'm gonna get to whitetail deer hunt. And no matter how good Montana is, whitetail deer hunting can be tough, so there's never a guarantee. I had to get my butt back down to those river bottoms and those alfalfa fields and try to get me a big old buck before this week was over.
Cody just dropped us off. We got in here late tonight. We just got done our elk hunt. We didn't get done, we just came back to whitetail hunt. And we didn't want to jump in on the river bottom and pressure the deer too much, so we're going to sit in this haystack actually tonight. Being late as it is, it's the best plan we got, so we're going to get out here and check it out.
We're hiding in this haystack in Montana. It's the first night. The deer are either going to come out on this side in the alfalfa or on this side in this brush. So we're using the haystack as a little hallway to get back and forth. Got a couple bucks out here right now, 5 or 6 bucks. Just saw a couple, 2 small bucks and a pretty good buck.
There's another one coming out now. And a doe came out, and she's in between us and them.
Let a big buck do that. Or a doe. I think a doe's about to do that, actually.
I really wanted to shoot one of these does, but we were trying to wait on a buck, and it was kind of like the does were bait. You know, I got some live decoys out in front of me right now, and I'm just gonna wait and see if a big buck comes.
Man, I wanted to bust that doe right there on the ground in the haystack in Montana. We got deer at 25 yards, man. This is cool. Eye to eye, they never saw us. I guess our real tree must work pretty good even in the haystack. I was actually gonna shoot a doe there at the end, and a bunch of them came in here and kind of busted us a little bit. And every time I'd try to do anything, another one would kind of be looking at us. But that was pretty cool. Saw a bunch of deer, man. Saw one pretty good buck. We'll see how it goes. So far, it's been pretty cool, man. Had deer all over us. Probably saw 80 deer. Got a doe tag and a buck tag, so that's a good way to start the day, man, or a good way to start the trip.
Well, day 2, we get up and we're like, you know what? We're gonna go back to the honey hole, the place where I shot my buck last year.
Well, boys and girls, we've got the sun coming up behind the glorious Rocky Mountains. A few deer starting to trickle this way. It's gonna be a good day.
Where you can find her. She's at my blue double wide on the bad part of town. I'm from the wrong side of the track.
Well, the first group had a good shooter 8-pointer in it, but they passed just out of range between us and the river.
Push it right on back, right on back. I'm from the wrong side, wrong side. I'm from the wrong side of town, but she keeps on coming around.
Well, the second group that was coming toward us had 2 shooters in it, and I'm thinking this Montana whitetail hunt is gonna be over in the first morning.
Dang, those are some good bucks. Yeah, he's definitely a shooter.
It's great to see that many deer, but you got that many more noses to smell you. So I think they got a whiff of us, at least that lead doe did, and you know, the deal was over right there. I mean, it wasn't happening.
Beautiful morning. We hadn't a chance to wash any clothes since we were on the elk hunt. When the wind messes around, we've been getting busted. Not terrible, but they all kind of just ran by as fast as they could. We're gonna stay after it. There's a couple hammers on this place, man. Nice 12-pointer. Not real nice 8-point too. There's so many alfalfa fields and still very little cover. It makes this little one spot we hunt here kind of tough at times. It's good because you see a lot of deer. They're real visible, but that doesn't mean they gotta walk by your tree.
We had seen a giant 12-pointer go in the woods and head down to the river to bed down for the day. So Josh and I, during lunchtime, took a couple X-stands and hung them right at that spot, right on that trail. And we figured, you know, that would be a great morning spot for the rest of the week. At this point, I've been waiting all summer long, shooting my bow in the backyard, waiting for hunting season to open up. I've been in bow range and surrounded by a bunch of elk. I'm ready to kill something. I don't care if it's a doe, a buck, a groundhog, a squirrel. We just can't get the bucks to walk that magical distance where I can shoot one with a bow. We're seeing them out there all the time at 100 yards. Dang it, man. It's time to shoot a doe.
Here comes some more. I can't. There's a lot of deer. You on her, Josh? She ducked a little bit, but she was actually about 23 yards. I shot her for 25, 26. It smoked her though. I mean, she's dead right now. When times get hard, sometimes it's just time to fill the freezer. That's what we did this morning. I couldn't get too excited because we still were surrounded by deer. That was cool, man. Drew blood in Montana. We done broke ice. We done broke the Montana ice.
Oh man, I smoked her. That's a good doe, man. That hypodermic ate her lunch too. Look at the size of that hole. You know, that's a little bit higher than a perfect shot, but only that much higher. Those blades opened up so big, it double lunged her and severed her spinal cord and broke the offside shoulder. Hypodermic's where it's at, son.
She didn't make it very far, huh?
Yeah, about a half a centimeter.
Well, it might have took us a minute, but we finally got the party started right in Montana. We got a doe on the ground, we got some meat in the freezer.
First two children I've ever seen got hungry watching me skin a deer. They were saying, talking about eating dinner. You believe that? Y'all are all right with me. My little girls would like you.
And we've spotted a giant 12-pointer that we nicknamed Sack because of that weird growth he's got on his belly.
Now we just need to get old Sack Master Flash in here. He's got a big growth on his stomach, big fluid sac or something. So we named him about 12 different names. Sack Lunch, Sacagawea, Sacramento, California, Sack of Potatoes, Sack Johnson. Oh, Josh just said Sack Brown. That's hilarious. Sorry, Zach. Sack Morris, Sack Galifianakis.
So we're gonna be putting all our effort into getting within bow range of this deer the rest of the week.
You already found it, didn't you, punk? Dude, I was so nervous.
Montana obviously is a huge piece of land, and in its 147 some odd thousand, 147,039 square acres,